So banking and loans. So as I said, finance unit is new to the curriculum. So let's do a few of these quick questions right here. Soraya took out a $5,000 personal loan. So loan, what does loan mean? Borrow. You borrowed money from the bank. And so they charge you 8% interest, compounded monthly over 2 years. Her monthly payment is this. So they calculated it for you already. So instead of you having to use this formula, okay, remember this is the compound interest formula. So they calculate it for you already. So you don't have to calculate it. The other one for simple interest is this one. So remember these two formulas for the final exam or EQAO. Okay, so don't forget these two formulas. Compound interest, simple interest. Okay, what is the total amount that she has to repay over the length of the loan? So we already know that she has to pay $226.14 per month. How long is she borrowing the money for? 24 months. Good job. So 2 years, but remember this is per month. So in 2 years, there's 24 months. So if you times it by 2 only, it will mean that she only borrowed for 2 months. Okay, so 226.14 times 24 months, it means that in total, she has to repay $5,427.36. How much interest did she pay over the 2 years? How much interest did she pay? Yeah. So 5,000 was what she borrowed. She had to pay an extra 427. So that means that's the interest. Okay. And then EQAO love to ask this question. Okay. So let's say Surya, instead of borrowing the money for 2 years, it's now 3 years. Does that increase the interest or decrease the interest? Increase, right? So if you are taking longer to repay, of course, you have to pay more. So interest increases. What will happen to her monthly payment? Oh yeah. So it will increase. It will increase her monthly payment. Oh wait. No. This is a tough question. Determine what will happen to her monthly payment in each situation. It will actually decrease. Yeah. So the question is worded back. So instead of like let's say this amount, $5,427, instead of dividing it over 24 months, now if you do it over 3 years, you can divide it over 36 months. So that means instead of a monthly payment of $226, it's now just $150. So monthly payment. So monthly payment, because you're dividing it by 36 instead of 24 now, monthly payment will decrease. But overall, you will end up paying more interest. Okay, because you're taking longer to repay. So that means you have to pay more interest, but your monthly payment will be lower. And that's actually how mortgage works. A lot of people will choose a longer term so that, like, for example, 30 years to pay off their mortgage so that each month is less. What if the interest rate is changed from 8% to 7%? So the amount the rate that they charge you decrease. So what will happen to your monthly payment? also decrease. Yeah, so monthly payment will decrease. So that's a good thing if they decrease the interest rate. Okay, and then what if the principal is 4,000 instead of 5,000? So the amount that you have to borrow decrease. What would happen? So instead of borrowing $5,000, you're just borrowing 4,000. Also decrease. Yeah, because you're borrowing less money. Monthly payment will decrease. Okay, so basically this question, what it's saying is how, like I could rephrase this question and say, what are 3 things that she could do to lower her monthly payment? And there you go. Change the term to a longer term, decrease, find a bank that offers lower interest rate, or borrow less money, or put down a down payment. Okay. What is so remember down payment? What are down payments? What are down payments? Yep. Yeah, something that you pay up front. Why do people want to do that?
To lower the amount that is being interest.
Yeah, so just like right here, instead of paying interest on 5,000, she used $1,000 from her savings to lower her as down payment. So then that means she just has to pay interest on $4,000. All right. So remember, paying a down payment also lowers your monthly payments. Okay. This one. Total income for April. So remember, income is the amount that you bring in, that you earn. Expenses are things that you have to pay for. So, for example, car insurance, clothes, your cell phone bill, your gas bill, and so forth. Those are expenses. So what would, like, let's say you're short on money that month. What would you cut down on from here, from this chart? Spending money, yeah. So no movies for that month. All right. Or you kind of need the gas. Yeah. So you might not be able to save up you might not be able to save money, like put in your piggy bank for that month, or clothes. You don't need new clothes every. But what's funny in this is they don't have the essential expense. What are some essential expenses? Food, yeah. He need new clothes, but he doesn't need food. All right. So food you need for sure. You have to keep. All right. What else do you? Sorry.
Like a child because she's saying after school.
Oh, so maybe that's why. So her parents are feeding her. Right. But then,
If she can work, she has to
yeah, and then she's getting a car and gas. So,
She has to be like 16 or something.
more than 16. You cannot drive at 16.
Wait, can you?
You can drive by yourself. So, maybe
She not even that much older because she's still at school.
18. Yeah, maybe 18. Maybe first year university. But, yeah. Okay, so essential items and luxury items. So if you have to choose, make sure you pay for food and shelter. Okay. This question on the back, number 10. Notice for each of the categories, there's 2 percentages. What type of graph would you use to show this? Sorry? Exactly. Good choice. Double bar graph. Okay. Double bar graph is the only type of graph that compares two different data for each category. A box plot, only one set of data, and also it only does a range. A pie graph only does one set of data as well. Right? This one is just a decreasing graph. Okay. Is this a good line of best fit?
Good enough, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think good enough. Yeah. So, what assumption do you have to make is that it's a steady. So, like after 2020, the rate how it decreases is you're assuming it's the same. Okay. These ones right here, right angle triangle. What comes to mind? I think zero. So this c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Okay. Okay, drawing the. Okay, this one is just drawing the diagram. Well, remember, it's a right angle triangle. 6 meters ladder. So where is the ladder? Is it the wall? Is it on the floor? Is it leaning on the wall? Yeah. So this means this is 6 meters. Okay, and it's 2 meters from the base of the wall. So that means on the ground it's 2 meters away, and you're looking for this side. Okay. Okay. Angles in the triangle. What are the two names again? No, in a circle. In a circle, what are these angles called? Inscribe and central. Okay, inscribe angle, central angle. So if, oh, by the way, ABD. Some people were asking me about this question on the last test. ABD means A, B, D, like that. So where is the angle that this my highlighted line formed? Right here. Okay, and it's always the middle letter. Okay. So in other words, I could have just said angle B, but sometimes when you have a lot of lines, you need to know which angle B it is. So ABD means this angle right here. So this angle is also an inscribed angle, so it's 24 degrees. ACD. ACD. So it's talking about this central angle right here. What is my central angle?
48.
Yep. Thank you. 48, because it's doubled. Okay, same thing right here. So if this is 96, my central angle is 96. What is x and y? Good. Yeah. And because both of these are my inscribed angle, both of them are 48. Okay. So they're both my inscribed angles. And notice the unit, degree sign, degree sign, degree sign. On the final exam, if you don't have the degree sign, half the mark off. Okay. These ones are the properties of the circle. So what is this angle? What is angle D? 90 degrees, right? This is still called my inscribed angle because my central angle is 180. So my inscribed angle is 90. Okay. This one, perpendicular bisector for a chord. So remember, this is called a chord. This one is a perpendicular bisector. So it's a 90-degree line right down the middle. Okay. So this line is called a chord. And then that line is called the perpendicular bisector. What are the three types again? Perpendicular bisector. Oh, actually, no. Is that the word I use? Yeah. Median, and altitude. Good. All right. 3 median makes a centroid. Good. Okay. So those are some terms that you might need to remember for the exam. So what are the length is that? So again, this is a right angle triangle. So you can do Pythagorean theorem to figure out what this is, double it because it's the same length, and you have AE. Right. This one is actually a pretty nice question. This is a math contest type question. Okay, so this archaeologist found this broken piece of wheel, and then explain how you could use this broken piece to find the circumference of the entire wheel. So what you could do is make a chord, okay, and then measure the chord, and then the middle of it, do a perpendicular bisector of that chord, and your perpendicular bisector will always intersect at the center of the circle. And so if you know the center of the circle, and then you can measure how long this is, that's your radius, and then you can use C equals pi d to figure out the whole length. Right, so this is a contest type of question. You might see this in grade 10 as well. So this is a neat property. Your perpendicular bisector of a chord will always go through the center of the circle. It's pretty neat. Okay, these angle questions we went over as well. We know these. Okay, so this one, same thing. What is this line called? The one that's on the outside. Tangent. Good. So your tangent and the radius always makes a 90-degree angle. So if you know that this is 90, this is 48, then you can figure out what this is. Supplementary angle would help you find out what this is. Okay. And then here, appreciation, depreciation. What does the word appreciation mean? Yeah, value goes up. Depreciation, value goes down, right? Determine the answer without using a calculator. Oh, okay. 50% of that. If I were to calculate it, what would I do? 50% is 0.5 or 0.50 of means good. And then 100,000 means 100,000. Yeah. Okay, so which means half of it, so 50,000. Right. A townhouse built last year sold for that. Suppose the house in the area appreciated by an average of 15% in the past year. Calculate the appreciation and estimated value of the house today. So how do I calculate an appreciation of 15%? Just like tax?
Yeah, like 525,000, 100,000 times 0.85.
It's an appreciation. So what you said was a depreciation. 1.15. So you could do two ways. One, you could do it this way, 15% of that. Okay, which is 0.15 times 525,000. That means it went up $78,750. Since this is an appreciation, that means you're adding this on top of that. Alright. If it's a depreciation, then you would subtract. So that's one way of calculating that. Or the second way, you could just simply times it by 1.15 because it's an appreciation. Okay. Similarly, depreciation of 30%. So how would I calculate that? Easiest way to calculate this? Son? That's 30%. So yeah, 0.70. So the easiest way, 0.70 times 999. Sorry? Okay. Or if you want to follow this method, you could also do 30% of 999, and then because it's a depreciation, you subtract it from the 999. So both way works. Okay. So but just know when to add it, when to subtract it, because appreciation, depreciation. Okay. Okay, almost done. Quartiles. Yes, I wanted to draw this with you. For enlivenment, he tracked the number of novels he read like this. Determine the quartiles and explain what it means. Determine the range and interquartile range and explain what. Okay. So, first off, what do I have to do? What's my first step before I can draw that quartile? Ascending orders. Good. So, 2, and then 3. So 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. No, 3. One more 3. 4, 4. 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5. And then 7, 9. All right. When you do this, make sure you have the same number of numbers left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, I didn't miss any. If you made this silly mistake, then all your math is going to be wrong. So make sure you don't do this. Hey, how do I? So next, I have them in order now. How do I draw a box plot? Okay, so this is my min. This is my max. Good. Median. How do I find a median? Do the finger thingy. Okay. That. So the middle of all these numbers. So my middle number right here, 4. This is my median, aka median Q what? 2. Good. Q2 is my median. Okay. Do I do this? Where's my right finger supposed to be? The other 4, right? To the left of my Q2. So this. And this is going to be my Q1. What's another word for a Q1? Wow, good job. You guys are so good. Lower quartile. Okay. Q2 is median. Let's do the same thing on this side. This. So this is my Q3, and it's called my upper quartile. Good job. You have a good memory. Okay. So that means if you went over it tonight, you'll remember it for tomorrow. Okay. So now if I were to draw my box plot, let's draw it. I know. It's just for the sake of the review. Okay. Once I draw what do I need before I can draw? A scale. Good job. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So my minimum, my maximum, and then Q1 is at 3. Is that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Q1 is at 3. Q2 is at 4. And Q3 is at 5. And there we go. Looks like that.
For the exam, do you have to draw a box?
Possible. That's why I'm going over it with you now. Okay. And so 25% of the marks is between 2 and 3. 25% of the marks is between 3 and 4. 25% of the mark is between 4 and 5. And 25% of the marks is between 5 and 9. Okay.
So where the upper quartile starts and ends at the max, that the whole thing is 25.
Yeah, each section is 25%.
And that whole thing is the upper quartile.
So if I were to describe this part, I would say the upper quartile to the maximum is 25%. Or I can say the lower quartile to my median is 25%. So that's why I wanted to also mention these names. There's these two words we didn't go over in the class, but I saw it once on EQAO, so I think I should mention it. Determine the range. So range just means maximum take away minimum. So 9 take away 2, that's 7, and that's your range. Okay, and then interquartile range. Interquartile range is just between each. All right, so for example, 9 take away 5. Sorry. No. Interquartile range means Q3 minus Q1. Q3 minus Q1, which is 5 take away 3, 2. And this is called your interquartile range. Okay. I don't know why we need to know range and interquartile range, but EQAO says you need to know. All right, so remember, if you see this word, it means Q3 minus Q1. If you see range, it's the max take away min. Okay? Okay. So just one little bit extra thing. Okay, and this is how you draw the box plot. So if you see this on the exam, can you draw it? Yes. Okay. So you see here, this one says IQR. What does IQR represent? Yeah, interquartile range. Okay. Scatter plot, linear regression. Linear regression, another word for it? Linear regression. Your slope. Yeah, your slope. Rate of change, your slope. Rate, slope. The dollar per minute is your slope. Everything is slope. Okay, so for this one, pretty ugly. I would say like my line of estimate, maybe something like that. And so based on that, it looks like it's a negative slope. Looks pretty steep to me, so I would say this. Okay, remember this side. If it's decreasing, negative slope. If it's increasing, positive slope. Positive slope. Positive relation. Slope of a horizontal line. Vertical line. And the line. Okay. Okay, the 4 types of slopes. And finally, the last page. Oh yeah, these data strategy, data thing. 4 students compare the strategy they used to draw a line of best fit, whose strategies are correct and whose are not. Oh, no, don't worry about that. These are scatter plot things. Okay. I think these are pretty straightforward. I also want to mention this. The data analysis thing, because that's also part of the new stuff. Where was it? Is it here? Yeah, this one. Okay, what are the 4 types of data collection? Anybody remember that? These 4 types. Simple random sample, systematic sample, cluster sample, and stratified random sample.
What?
You were tested on it. Yeah. Oops. So let me just write down the 4 types on here so that you guys can see it from the video. Oops. Okay, so the 4 types. Simple, and you can read it through now if you need to. Simple random sample, systematic sample, sample, cluster sample, and stratified random sample. Alright, so remember this. This lesson, I think it was in the finance unit. I put it in there. Alright, so you can refer back to this if you need to. I just thought I'll mention it in case you forgot about this, which I think a lot of you guys did. Okay, and that's the whole review package. Any last minute questions? Okay, so let me stop this.